Good morning children, welcome to e-learning session. In today's session, we'll be dealing with nutrition in human beings. That is, how does digestion takes place from mouth to anus. So watch the video carefully and do the given work. Learn and write the process. Nutrition in human beings. Nutrition involves digestion process. So digestion process is carried out by digestive system. Now, human digestive system is very complex in nature. Different parts are involved and they perform different functions by using digestive juices and enzymes. So, food enters our body through mouth and travels through a long canal which ends at anus. This long canal is known as alimentary canal. So this alimentary canal is divided into several parts such as buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, anus. In addition to this, we have digestive glands also such as salivary glands, then liver and pancreas. We'll see stepwise how does the digestion takes place in each part. Now coming first to mouth or buccal cavity. So the mouth has teeth and tongue. In addition to this, we have salivary glands present in mouth. So as soon as the food enters into the mouth, teeth helps in breaking down the food into smaller particles and the food get mixed with saliva to make it wet and slippery. So children, we can realize that the food gets mixed with saliva, and then this saliva, from where it is secreted? It is secreted by 3 pairs of salivary glands. Where they are located? 2 pairs are located on the side of the jaw below the tongue, and 1 pair is located in the palate. This saliva contains an enzyme known as salivary amylase or ptyalin. So here carbohydrate breakdown starts in mouth. So complex carbohydrates they are breaking down. So the tongue and the lower jaw, it also helps in mixing the food and pushing it into the next part called esophagus. So in the mouth, teeth, tongue and salivary glands, they help in digestion. Now coming to next part, that is esophagus. See in the picture you can see esophagus. It is a long coiled tube. So esophagus, it is a long tube-like structure lined with muscles, so that contract and relax rhythmically. Okay, so alternately they contract and relax. So it takes the food from mouth to stomach by peristaltic movement. Peristaltic movement means what? It contracts alternately, that is contraction and relaxation. In addition to this, the epithelial cells present in esophagus also secrete mucus which lubricates the food and helps to move it forward into the next organ, that is stomach. So next we'll see the next slide, we'll see the digestion in stomach. Here you can see in the picture the different parts, that is mouth or oral cavity, we have tongue, then next the long tube-like structure known as esophagus, then stomach, small intestine and large intestine. Now coming to digestion in stomach. How is the stomach? Stomach is a J-shaped structure present on the left side of the abdomen. In the picture you can clearly see stomach is present on the left side of the abdomen. So here as soon as the food enters into the stomach, it is churned. Churned means mixed with gastric juice and HCl for almost nearly 3 hours. During this, the food further breaks down and the protein digestion begins in the stomach. We have seen carbohydrate digestion begins in mouth, whereas protein digestion, it starts in stomach. So pepsin is an enzyme which converts proteins into peptones. So now this partially digested food is known as chai. So this food enters into the next part called small intestine. Now this movement of food from stomach into small intestine, it is guarded by a valve-like structure known as pyloric sphincters. What is the function of this pyloric sphincter? It will allow only a small quantity of food to pass into small intestine at a time. Okay, so it will allow only a small quantity of food at a time. Now next slide you can see digestion in small intestine. So small intestine, it helps in digestion and absorption of nutrients. Here digestion as well as absorption takes place. So small intestine, it is arranged in a form of coil. You can see in the picture. Okay, it is arranged in a form of coil. So it is arranged in a form of coil. It is the longest part of alimentary canal. Okay, so small intestine, it is the longest part of alimentary canal. It measures about 6.5 meters in an adult. So it receives the secretion of two glands. What are the two glands? Liver and pancreas. These are the two important glands present on the right side of the abdomen. So pancreas, it secretes pancreatic juice which contains an enzymes such as trypsin and lipase. Pancreas, it secretes pancreatic juice and it contains two enzymes. Okay, that is trypsin and lipase. Now what is the function of trypsin? Trypsin again converts proteins into peptones, whereas lipase converts fats into fatty acids. So here in small intestine we can see that digestion of fats also takes place in small intestine. We have seen digestion of carbohydrate starts in mouth, whereas digestion of protein starts in stomach, whereas digestion of fats takes place in small intestine. Now here you can see the picture of pancreas and liver. See here, pancreas and liver. So liver secretes bile juice which is stored in gallbladder. What is the function of bile juice? It converts fats into fatty acids. Again, digestion of fats takes place in liver. In addition to this, the walls of small intestine also secretes intestinal juice, which has many enzymes that are helpful in digestion of food. So in this way, the food is completely digested in small intestine. So digestion of food starts in mouth and it ends in small intestine. Small intestine, in addition to glands, that is liver and pancreas, plays an important role in digestion. Now in the next slide, we can see that absorption. So the digested food has to be absorbed. So transport of products of digestion from intestine into blood is called as absorption. So for the food which is digested, it has to be absorbed into the blood. Then only it can go to different parts of the body. So how it is absorbed? That is through a process of absorption, that which is done by a finger-like projections called as villi. Villi are the small finger-like projections which are present in small intestine, which are helpful for absorption. Now after absorption, coming to next process, that is assimilation. So the digested food is carried to all parts of the body, which is used by cells for obtaining energy and also for growth and repair of the body. So the digested food, it is carried to all parts of the body which is used by the cells, okay, for obtaining energy and growth and repair of the body. Now coming to next part, that is large intestine. So the undigested food, So from the small intestine, it passes into a wide tube called as large intestine. Then the last part is called as rectum, which stores the undigested food for some time, and then it is thrown out through anus. So the undigested food comes out through anus. We can see this in the form of flow chart. So in the picture you can see food enters into the mouth, then buccal cavity, then it goes into pharynx, then esophagus, then stomach is divided into two parts, that is cardiac stomach and pyloric stomach. Then the food enters into duodenum. From duodenum it enters into small intestine, then large intestine, rectum and anus. So this is the flow chart, how the food travels, and lastly you find that is undigested food, it is thrown out through anus. Okay, I hope you understood the process. The process is very complex but very important. Okay, so function of liver or function of pancreas, or how does the digestion takes place in small intestine, how does the digestion takes place in stomach, these are all the questions asked in exams. So be thorough with this digestion process. Okay, I'll be sending the notes in WhatsApp.